you guys doing?
Get their recorders on. Okay, we'll take questions.
Your first one as head coach, how did it go?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Shoot. No, you know, it was one of those deals. I didn't expect miracles, and that's the number 6 ranked team in the country. I think Kevin's got a chance maybe to win a national championship with that club, and shoot, we went out, we played. It didn't happen for us. We got to get better as a football team. We knew that. I'm not sitting in this chair because we were a great football team the first 2 weeks, so I got to be patient with this team and let it grow. And I still think we got some talent on this team, and this football team can come around when we get in a conference. I don't know when it's going to break, but I know as a coach and all the years I've coached, and all of a sudden you find a team that hits a point in the game, and all of a sudden everything turns for you, and things start turning out pretty good.
Do you still like did you like the effort level?
You know, I did. I know I had to be a cheerleader on the sidelines. Our kids have got to learn that, you know, when things are bad happen, you got to get your head up and you got to go back out, and you got to forget about what has happened and play forward. And at times, I know I went and got on the defense on that bench about, hey, you got to play forward. Offensively, same thing. But I told them right at the end of the game, hey, just keep playing. I thought we played for 4 quarters today. I mean, we weren't good enough to beat that team. Hell, I don't know if I've been around an SMU team that could have beat that team. But, you know, we played to the end, and that's all I could ask of those kids.
What was your decision on Colney? Was it too rich of a game for him, or?
You know, he just wasn't getting it done. So we had to make a change there. And you know, I kind of left that up to Dan, and he went with Stitch, and I thought Stitch did some decent things. He's got to quit taking those hits like that, though. I know that, or we're going to have another quarterback in there because he's going to get busted in half. But he rushed for, I think we had 52 yards rushing on him, and yeah, threw the ball okay at times.
Well, before do you believe that Chris Stitch is going to be your starter?
Hard to say. You know, we got to evaluate that situation in depth tomorrow. You know, got to look at what our options are. Maybe he's the guy, maybe not. I'm not 100% sure that's where I want to go with it right now.
What did you talk about at halftime?
You know, I talked about him just to keep playing. We've had some bad things happen, and it wasn't good, but this is a team that you've got to teach them how to play the game and just keep playing and keep playing. And, you know, get points when you're down. I don't care if it's a field goal or what, and don't look at the scoreboard. I mean, we're talking about small wins with this team. I mean, we hadn't scored a touchdown until last play in North Texas game. And I knew where this team was at, but I still believe in this football team. I think this football team, maybe it might be 2 weeks, might be 3 weeks, but this football team will come around. I think there's character on it right now.
What do you think you can do about some of the missed tackles that happened on defense?
You know, that just comes down to most of the time we miss tackle. They're just better athletes than we are, and I can't do anything about that right now. I mean, we'll do some tackling drills, and we'll try to change some things, but yeah, our tackling was atrocious. It was bad, but you know, you got to give some credit to them too. That's a pretty good football team, and you know, we got some guys. I was a little disappointed in the way they played at that point, but again, we'll get better at that too. But sometimes it was A&M too. It wasn't just missed tackles.
Your offense had some very quick drives in the first half, and then late in the half you had like a 7-minute drive that led to the first field goal. What changed that allowed them to have that success on that long drive?
I think it's just more mindset, believing they can do that. You know, I don't know if Colney wasn't getting it done. We switched and Stitch went in there, and whether it was that or whether all of a sudden they started to believe it. But, you know, I'm looking for small wins right now. That's a small win. Shoot, I've been through these kind of things before, and that's a small win.
The sacks that y'all have given up,
Right.
21 in 3 games. How do you fix that?
You know, we got to look at maybe putting one of those bigger kids in, like Jeremiah Gaines, and chipping the edge and doing some things to protect that quarterback a little more. I think the offensive line will come around. Tim does a good job. We're better at the offensive line than we were a week ago. I know that, and I just got to be patient. And I'm not a real patient guy, but I'm really trying to be patient right now.
going to ask you about Tim Davis. You bring him in, and obviously you're trying to watch a million different things on the sideline as the head coach, but did you see anything in the offensive line that gave you encouragement, said,
Yeah.
this is better, that's better?
I think I saw some decent things. I mean, we rushed the ball. I think we had, what, let me look at this thing, 102 yards rushing, and that's an improvement. I got to look at those sacks, where those came from. You know, whether those were quarterback sacks or whether those were offensive line sacks. Maybe we got to make a couple of changes in there. I don't know. You know, I'm going to look at that film tomorrow and totally evaluate that. But I thought that line was better. You know, I was sitting in the press box at North Texas and watching it, and that wasn't pretty. You know, the other thing that we got to get better at is we can't jump off sides. I think we had 3 or 4 offside penalties again today, and I'm not going to tolerate that kind of stuff. We're going to control the things we can control, and we can control that.
You go from a ranked team today to arrive with history next week. What will the message be to your kids when you face TCU?
We got to stay with the same message. Let's just keep getting better. Okay, we're going to find ourselves eventually. We'll make some subtle changes again offensively, add a little bit more, because we kind of took the offense back down to ground zero. And we'll make a few subtle changes on that. I got to look at what we're doing defensively. You know, shoot, this ain't my kind of defense right here. I mean, that's crazy, but we're going to evaluate everything again, and we'll make subtle changes. You can't wholesale change at this point of the year, but we'll make some changes defensively. And we got to evaluate personnel. I think football is a total personnel thing. We got to look at, make sure we got the best 11 players on offense and defense on the field.
How do you view how this team got to this point? I mean, you've been here for 7 years. You've seen teams win bowl games and compete for conference titles.
I think it happened last year, to be honest with you. You know, when we lost, when Garrett Gilbert got hurt. You know, we played really well defensively against Florida, Central Florida, but the Houston game, I think last year was really kind of where we lost our fastball. And when kids lose their confidence, you got to do something as a coach to get that confidence back. And maybe it's reinvent something in the program, and that's kind of my job right now. You know, I got to get these kids back and get them confident. And it's like a, I don't know, I guess a baseball player when he loses his fastball. You know, you got to do something to get it back. But we got some good kids on this program, and I think these kids will respond.
What was it like personally for you out there in a new position?
You know, I'll be honest with you, I had a ball. I haven't been on the sideline since 1998. So, you know, that was a new experience. Loud out there. God dang. I had to go from a single headset to a 2 headset. And, you know, it was fun. Shoot, I was more of a cheerleader than a coach today. You know, I'm trying to get those kids up, and, you know, I'm calling the defense, but I'm also, you know, between series, I'm the cheerleader, and I'm high-fiving guys and doing all that. And I loved it. Shoot, it was fun for me. I can see why, you know, those guys enjoy being a head coach. See, I get to make decisions. We go for it on 4th down.
How do the mechanics work of calling the defense? You've always been upstairs, looking down, seeing the field out below you and making the calls. How much feedback were you getting from upstairs, or was it all what you saw from the sideline?
Yeah, it was a little bit of both. You know, I got pretty good guys upstairs. Darius Bill and Eric were upstairs, and they did a nice job, Eric Daniels, of getting their information to me. I felt like the calls were right. You know, what I look for on defense is, do we have players in position to make plays? Obviously, we missed some tackles. Shoot, anybody can see that. I mean, your grandmother will tell you that, but we missed some tackles. But we had players in positions to make tackles, and we just, you know, we got to be better tacklers. But a lot of it, too, is they might have had a little better athlete than what we had.
Is this an opportunity you have or a thankless job?
A little bit of both. But you know what? I'm going to enjoy it. Shoot, it's a great institution. I love the people here. You know, my daughter went to school here. I've recruited 3/4 of those kids in that locker room. You know, whatever happens, happens. I can't control that. What I can control is what this football team does. And if we get the wins and I get the job, great. But I'm going to have fun with this thing. And I'm going to enjoy the journey. And, you know, I'm one of those guys. I still think we can win a conference and maybe get to a bowl game. I know you guys all think I'm nuts, but that's okay. My wife thought I was nuts, too.
You feel your previous interim head coach experience helps you out a little bit?
Oh, immensely. Yeah, all I worried about in that last deal was, get through this job, get the guy that had cancer, was dying, but get him back because it's his job. And then all of a sudden it turned, and all I worried about was getting the head job. Here, I ain't worried about that. Okay, if it happens, it happens, you know. But to me, I'm going to coach these kids. I'm going to have fun with this job. I mean, I'm nuts. I'm the only guy in America I think's ever been an interim head coach twice. You know, my wife and I said, we would never do that intern deal again. All of a sudden, we're doing the intern deal again. Okay, all right, let's go do it. What the hell, you know? And I'm going to have fun with it. I really believe in what we do here, and I think this program could be as good as we want it to be. You know, we might not get it done. I don't know, but hell, if you don't try, you never know.
You energized things really in practice the last 8 days. Did you see that? Could you see that on the field a little bit
Yeah,
different
I
mindset,
did, but
or-
at times we dipped back to where we were. And that's when I had to go over on the bench and say, hey, come on, don't even look at that score over there. What else would we be doing on a Saturday afternoon? You know? Shoot, we got the number 6 team in our stadium. We got a full house. You know, shoot, I don't care if the people had to leave early to get, you know, they were scared of the traffic. At least, you know, we don't have traffic problems on 75. But hell, we got to play, you know? And that was kind of my message to them. Shoot, it's football, you know?
2 for 2 in the red zone. Pretty confident with Rademacher being automatic if they go to the field goal round.
Yeah, I felt pretty good. He's pretty accurate from about, you know, when I said 35-yard field goal from 25-yard third line. You know, when you get over 40-some yards with them, that's about his range. But I like the kid. He's got a little swag to him as a kicker. And, you know, kickers are kind of flakes, really.
Did Matt Davis, is he healthy, or did you just want to push him?
Kind of. You know, we got to take a look at that situation, too. I don't know where we're at with Matt because I'm the defensive guy. And I got to talk to Dan where we're at with that. We'll evaluate that situation tomorrow. I still believe in the kid. I think he could add a dimension to this team. I don't know if he's a full-time starter, but he's definitely a kid that's got a role on this team. And I think he could help us. And I just want to see him again and see him play and see what he can do, too. And I'm not totally convinced Colney's not the guy. Well, one game with a redshirt freshman, that's tough duty, especially against the number 6 ranked team in the country. You know, it'd be a little different if we were playing, you know, somebody that's our caliber. It could have been a whole different story for him.
Anything else, guys?
Just one quick question. Do you believe that your tough non-conference schedule is going to help you when you get into your conference schedule?
No, it should. You know, you're playing these teams. You play Baylor, you play A&M, really good football teams. Obviously, TCU is a good football team. North Texas, I can't take anything away from them, but I always believed that these kids will go in against a team that's not the same caliber of these, and we'll play better against it. So, yeah, I think it does help you. I mean, you know, you'd rather be 3-0 against some Sisters of the Poor and worried about getting cranked up for TCU than, you know, 0-3. But, you know, let's the cards dealt, let's play them.
Okay, thanks a lot.
That's coach.
Thanks, Tom.
All right, guys. I'll get them ready next week again.